Okay, here's a question. Can you read that, Steve? I'm going to show it up on the screen too.
I can.
It says, I recently began to notice that my 14-year-old is really struggling with certain subjects. Math is the hardest, and she has panic attacks when I ask her to work alone. We switched from Bob Jones to ACE because we were told it was easier to understand, but we go through each pace twice, and she can't retain anything. She is currently doing pre-algebra. I've been told to switch to your curriculum. What makes it more conducive?
Well, when I wrote Matthew C., I was writing it for students that I was tutoring. And now when I do seminars for especially first-time homeschoolers, not a veteran like Corey, I say, there's a difference between being a classroom instructor and a tutor, because a classroom instructor is intent on following the curriculum and the book, but a tutor is focused on the child. And so she's doing that right now. I can read it in her writing. She's going through each pace twice because she knows she didn't master it the first time through. So I wrote Matthew C., and so there are no grade levels because there's a certain sequence in math. You need to know how to add before you do multiplication, because in multiplication you have to multiply and then add the columns. Same thing, you need to know how to subtract before you do division. So there's a sequence, but you can move at your child's pace. So that's the first thing. Matthew C. was written for tutors, which is what homeschoolers are. The second thing is I use a whole lot of hands-on stuff. It's not because I want it to be a visual program. It's just because that I found after many years of teaching math that when I could show kids things, then that little light bulb went off and they understood it. And so I don't think math should just be a memory subject. It should be an understanding subject as well as a memory subject. So if you understand that you're not really carrying one when you're regrouping, but you're really moving a 10, you're really taking 10 to the tens place, it just changes your whole understanding. But I can show that with blocks. I can show you equivalent fractions, and I can show you how to change a fraction to a decimal or percent. I can show you how to do algebra. So that's why we have a lot of hands-on materials. We move at the child's pace, and for students that struggle with math, we even have free worksheet generator online, which we designed for kids with disability because sometimes they need extra practice. So if the pages in the student book aren't enough, you can make 1 million pages because it's a computer-generated thing, and they can make all pages that you want. Now, I don't think worksheets really teach, but they're good for practice. Teachers teach. So when you use Matthew C., what you do is you watch me in the video with your child. So she's got a 14-year-old. Here's what I would suggest, Corey. If you want to go on the Matthew C. website and watch a demonstration of me teaching it, or there's another website called freehomeschoolmath.com, and then she can watch me teach some subjects and get a feel for it. And if she thinks she'd like that, you know, she's 14 years old. She's basically an adult, and she needs to be on board with you. And so, okay, I'm reading your new comment. I agree with Mama. If I'm working with her and she can have these on paper, she gets it but doesn't compute. So visual works for her. I actually use all the senses that I can, Corey. When I'm using the blocks, I'm building it. I'm saying what I'm doing, and I'm writing what I'm building, and I'm moving my fingers around on the things I'm building. So I'm touching it, hearing it, seeing it, saying it. I'm just trying to use as much as the brain as possible. So if you want to try it, you can watch the video, or you can send away for a level that you think might be appropriate. And I think there's a 30 or 60-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't work, just send it back. I hope that helps.
I love what you said. You know, worksheets are good for practice, but teachers teach. That is so true. I think we oftentimes think that the book is going to teach the child, but it doesn't. It is the tutoring, it's the instructing, it's the putting the information in. The worksheets basically just test where they're at and what they know and what they can put out.
Yeah. And that's really what happens is that I think that's the, how can I put that? That's what separates home education from classrooms is because we're moving at the child's pace, and nobody is more motivated than a parent. Nobody knows the child better than the parent. And so I always felt like it was my goal to empower the parent. And that's what we've tried to do with Matthew C. Is we try to give you the information, but we want to help you do your job better. That's all.